Ah yes, Gopnik trying out glug. Straight from IKEA too. Funny story, I actually got glug for Christmas. Me and Philip tried it out on New Year's. It literally sabotaged his digestive system like a Yugoslav partisan, and that was a non-alcoholic version. But what does glug have to do with the insurgency? Nothing, really. Maybe let's get back to the point of the video? No, Ivan, drink glug. Okay, in all seriousness, last time we multiplied our territory like China did with its population. Now we are gonna attack the tunnel north of Grapeseed and Grapeseed itself. In the meantime, your boy Pet Lithuanian is getting prepared in the clothes shop. I swear, every time we play GTA, this chungus of a human visits the clothing capitalist at every occasion. If you watch the NKVD video, which you didn't, cause nobody watches this shit, you will know that clothing shop ladies are the worst. I don't mind though, this is why. I'm going to kill you one day. Now that we successfully convinced the capitalists to get out of Los Santos, it's time to make a convoy and brutally murder all unsuspecting civilians. Basically, I attached Phantom to an MOC trailer. Your boy Lukashenko, aka Pet Lithuanian, sits inside and mans the turret. Philip stays in the back and finishes off whatever gets past us. Let's go. When it comes to anything worthy of notice during our blitz through the tunnel, I noticed that Philip's liquid brain is unable to follow simple instructions and I don't know really. I'm clueless as to what the bleed he's doing. Okay, we got into Grapeseed and deliberately killed a respectable amount of non-combatants. I tell the comrades to dismount, but Lukashenko got a little trigger happy. We will now storm Grapeseed, which was a little harder than I initially anticipated. The first casualty is Ivan, cause of course it is, and we hardly left our vehicles. Since there's more NPCs than Red Army soldiers that are pinning us down, and we are stuck on open ground, we need to think of something fast. I suggest we create a formation so we can actually move somewhere. The idea is I'm in front shooting whatever's coming at us, Philip in the middle shooting down enemy helis, and Lukashenko in the back as our rear guard, making sure no pedophiles sneak upon us and clap our butt cheeks while we're busy. Before we enact this plan, we all die. The NPCs are putting up stiff resistance like, look at this man, look, try counting! I did, but Gulag education allows me to only count as high as 4. On the other hand, look at us, so professional. It's a joke, by the way, we are almost as dysfunctional as America. Eventually though, we start pushing out of this trap and slowly move into Grapeseed proper. We managed to push down the road and only suffered 9 total casualties. But our casualties are not the tragedy, it's the fact I used up all the Kalashnikov ammo already. Horrible experience. Thankfully every true Slav has a spare. We managed to get into this much more defensible location. After assessing our situation, Ivan gives the order to attack northwest. Some NPCs land a helicopter and Philip decides it's a good idea to fly it. Guess what? Yep, you guessed right. All in all, the northwest push was way easier as there was much less bloodshed. NPCs catch up to us, so we stand our ground and fight. They engaged in small numbers, so it obviously went horrendously for them. After that, we push west along the road. Philip and Lukashenko keep saying that the Tommy gun is pretty good. They're gonna get court-martialed for choosing not to use the AK, and not only using but also boasting about it. That is not cheeky-breaky. As expected, the road finally ends, so we gotta change direction. We turn left as the horde of NPCs spawning behind us and running on foot slowly crawls in our direction. The ones spawning in front are masterfully dealt with. Lukashenko is down and so we dig in until we regroup. But then Ivan dies, and so does Philip. Okay, we turn kinda left, yet again, in order to capture this farmland over here. We managed to not die, and more importantly, get to this shed thing. It was a good place since we could actually regenerate health and stuff and not have to fear dying every step we take. We hold off the NPC hordes coming for us like something very sus on a spaceship and probably deal a lot of damage. When it's finally time to stop camping, dysfunctional squad slowly leaves the Sealand embassy. And by slowly, I mean we all die multiple times trying. Now we turn south and push down the road and farmland and potential wheat plantations. Once we manage to advance through this shady business area, we get to the airstrip. Big deal. Why? I'll explain later in the video. What's important right now is we, well, first of us all die, and then attack down the runway. Halfway there, I suspect Lukashenko kills himself. How or why, I don't know. I don't think I want to know. I know you do, but you're not gonna know. The ways of the terrorists are mysterious. After perishing more than once, we finally get to the hangar, where the insurgency can cling on to dear life with actual hopes of achieving that. Lukashenko hijacks a plane, I wonder what for. We attempt to break out of the hangar since we are basically surrounded and pinned down yet again. We lose too much health and without Lukashenko's additional firepower, the risk is just too high. Philip dies and I'm all alone. Psych, I'm actually dead. Remember when Lukashenko stole a plane for a reason? If you guess the reason is terrorism, you guessed right. The spare Kalashnikov also runs out of bullets. This feeling is even worse. Back to the hangar. The only safe space is like a 700-meter radius. Philip uses some canopy ground to hold off the NPCs. Some urod decides to call an airstrike from Meriwether, which was forbidden until we got hold of an airstrip. Somebody is gonna get executed in the next NKVD episode. Once the dust settles after that illegally used airstrike, none of the kills were counted by the way, we emerge from our little rat hole. We capture an enemy vehicle and use it to drive down the airstrip. We turn left and head towards the bridge. We try crossing it and, sure enough, not gonna be easy, bullion. Fired upon from more sides than Americans in Vietnam, we crawl our way out of the death trap. Our last objective for today shall be a northern thrust. We move behind the houses cause they give us more cover and maybe we won't get harassed by the NPCs as if we said we hate Pokemon. Lukashenko decides to disengage, so the short rest of this battle will be fought by the Gopnik himself and the guy who doesn't know what not having a wanted level is like. Fortunately for today, all we're gonna capture is the fuel station across this ditch. We shoot unarmed civilians because of course we do. In the middle of a war, we decide to rob a shop cause we broke. All our budget went into the job. Philip kills himself cause of course he does, and now I gotta make sure this 1707 capitalism points lands in our pockets. We hold out in the shop for a while, and by hold out I mean Philip blows himself up again, and even comes outside to die and witness NPCs shooting each other. Also again. This is what happened last episode too. But anyway, battle for half of Grapeseed is over and here are the statistics for nerds. And in the entire war as a whole.
Emotional, damn it!
Okay, remember when I was emphasizing on the importance of the airstrip because I didn't allow the usage of air support? Yes, now that we have the airstrip, we have air support. It's time to explain how it will be used so it's not OP. So, when one of us decides to fly a jet or helicopter, the only thing they are allowed to do is shoot down those pesky enemy helicopters. The way ground support will work is someone on the ground can request support. Yes. They say where there's a metric Blitzton of target practice, so like southwest, east, north, you know the compass. Then in comes ya boy and shoot 1 or 2 rockets at them. No miniguns. They're either too OP or plain garbage, so not allowed. Missiles only. That's how it's gonna work and not cause an intervention from the United Nations. Now, if you excuse me, I have to teach Philip the directions of the compass. This is not a joke. When I was telling him the rules, he genuinely didn't know which was which. He wasn't born yesterday, this is a fully developed human we are talking about. In the meantime, how about subscribe to Life of Boris?